we have a responsibility to these people. Let me ask you another question. This is an individual. I just got this information. Reports in November of 2021, DHS encountered Issam Bassi, an alien on the terror watch list. Now, Mr. Bassi, despite, quote, from the FBI, highly derogatory information, end quote, this is in the FBI's database, DHS decided to release him into the U.S. because he was overweight and may have been susceptible to COVID-19. Are overweight terrorists not a threat to the U.S.?
I'm sorry, Congressman.
Are overweight terrorists? We turned Mr. Bassi loose because he was overweight and afraid he might get COVID, and he was on the FBI's list. So are they a threat, overweight terrorists?
Congressman, individuals who pose a threat to national security or public safety are detained. That is the policy
unless they're
of the
overweight.
Department of Homeland Security. That is false.
Well, that's what the report is.
I'm not familiar with that report. I look forward to reading it. Congressman, the weight of an individual is not relevant to their profile as a threat to the United States.
It is to catching COVID, though, apparently.
Congressman, allow me to repeat myself. Individuals who pose a public safety threat or national security threat are priorities for detention. That is the policy of the Department of Homeland Security.
Who's to blame for the floodgates being open on the southern border, Mr. Mayorkas?
Congressman, I look forward to working with you to fix what is clearly a broken immigration system. The issue of migration, the increase in migration, is not exclusive to the United States. During World War II, there were 60 million displaced people around the world. Now there are over 117.
We just had a report earlier today. Somebody said that there is no border anywhere on the globe that is more porous, if you will, than the United States border and more insecure. And it's on your watch, sir. And with that, I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman yields back. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Just a couple things to remind you. I know you have some sharp people there sitting behind you who work at the department. There's a number of things we want responses to, and I've been keeping a list throughout the things. So I just want to reiterate that, and then we'll adjourn the hearing and let you get back to your office. We want to know the number of removals. Obviously, we've asked that several times, so if you could please get us that number. We will put this in some kind of written correspondence to you, but we just want to emphasize we want that number. We want to know the status of the 14,000 smugglers you referenced in your opening statement. What has happened? Is DOJ prosecuting? Have you referred them? What is the status? Have any of those individuals been arrested multiple times? We want to know the status of the 140 on the terrorist watch list this year, the 238 total over the last 2 years, what their status is. And specifically when you said the IG's report was wrong, and the IG's report said that one of these individuals on the terrorist watch list has been released into the country. We want to know specifically how you interpret and why you say the IG is wrong. Then we want to know the parole categories that Mr. Bishop raised in his questioning, how you can categorize someone and then still categorize a whole group of individuals and then say you're still going case by case to meet the law when it comes to parole. And then finally, actually two last things. The Misdis Malinformation Committee within CISA, within DHS, we want to know the activities of that group. We'll have specific question around that. We want to know who's involved in that group and if it's still meeting and working with social media companies in light of the court decision on July 4th from the Western District of Louisiana. And then finally, to the gentleman, Mr. Moore's question about the tragic situation of the young lady in Alabama. We wrote you about that specific situation. Mr. McClintock and I wrote you on behalf of this back on May 24th, and you've not responded to that. So we'd like a response to that previous request as well. So I think that's 7 things that the committee, both Republicans and Democrats, I believe, would like answers to. And if we'll get that to you in some kind of written letter ASAP, but now you know and you can begin working on that and get it back to us if you could.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You bet. Thank you for being here today. The committee is, without objection, all members will have 5 legislative days to submit additional written questions for the witness or additional materials for the record. Without objection, the hearing is adjourned.